Long time no see. I was just a review of a game I've been playing the last few days. SOMA on the PC. I've been following this game for a while, but I was unable to buy it, mainly due to cash. But also, I wasn't sure if, seeing as it was like an Xbox One PS4 game, I wasn't sure if my laptop would run it. But I finally managed to get it in the sale. It it was always a really good price. I was surprised how cheap it's always been. It's always been kind of like £20 or £21 or something. But in the sale it went right down to like £11, I think, or something close to that. So I thought, well, there's it's one of the only games I've been looking forward to, and so I took the plunge. And actually, I mean, I was running it on low settings at like 640 resolution. I did go up to 800 at some point, but yeah, it ran pretty good. It was a comfortable experience. I couldn't run it full whack, but I'd still say even at the low resolutions that I played it, it was like one of the most beautifully designed games I've seen, and just really nice, just the way they make things and frictional games, how you can like op- open up most of the things, the cabinets and stuff. And there's a lot of like useless junk around, but just the fact it's there, it really draws you in. Like you can knock things off tables accidentally, and just like a lot of physics kind of stuff going on with the doors, and it's very interactive in that way. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the game. It's been hard actually. The last few days really wanted to get I've really wanted to play something else that would keep that Soma feeling going, kind of thing, and it's been quite hard. I've gone back to playing Alien Isolation, which is probably the closest thing that you could compare it to in this day and age. But it really is a good game. There are things I didn't quite like about it, which I've noticed a couple of people have said similar. But but for the most part, I mean, the story was really cool. I mean, it wasn't kind of. I mean, it was a really cool story for a game, and it was also very. It was a very like cinematic kind of game. I mean, you can imagine that would have been a really cool film, which would have ran for like 2 hours. But it was amazing how they managed to keep the suspense and and like the interest going for 12 hours, which was like my playtime. So that was really cool, and like, it didn't really feel like 12 hours. It felt like a sort of condensed kind of film sort of format. It was really cool how they did that with the pacing, and like you were never really bored. It was kind of frustrating in parts because one of the surprises with the game was just how many puzzles were in the game and stuff, and they were really well implemented. Like it wasn't just one puzzle that they copy and pasted over the whole thing. It was like a variety of puzzles and all different kind of like uh, systems and interactivities to kind of to work the puzzles. And it was really cool. I was really surprised, and for me that was sort of, apart from the story, that was like the highlight of the game. Just some of the things were so clever. At one point actually, I know one of the developers, and he actually had to come on Skype with me just to help me out at one point. It was a really cool puzzle, and I would have got it in the end, but it was like it would have taken me a long time, I think. And but it was cool to actually to have a bit of help and actually see like how like elaborate things got. It was really cool. Yeah, the story is really weird. It's hard. I've been trying to explain it to my friends, but it's really hard to explain it without spoiling things. You would have to spoil something just to explain it. But basically, you're this guy who was in like a car accident, and uh, you had some kind of like brain damage from a head injury, and as you start the game, you kind of like you're having a nightmare about that night and just various things. You start the game, and you get a call. You got to go to this kind of like this makeshift lab and have your brain scanned. There's like these students that aren't quite doctors yet, and they're just doing like an experimental thing, just to scan your brain for just some experimental thing that they're researching. So basically, that's no problem. You drink this kind of like this this fluid kind of stuff that will help with the scan, and basically you go to the scan, and this is a mild spoiler, I guess. But you go to the scan, and he says something quite that comes back a bit later on in the game. He says, "Is this going to hurt?" And the scientist says, "No, not at all." And then he says, "Well, the American Indians used to say that if someone took your photograph, they were stealing your soul." And basically, you laugh that off, but that's a very big theme of the game. So you put this helmet on, they take the photograph. The next thing you know, I mean, there was a bit of like a loading time and stuff, but I mean, in an ideal world, I think they would have just got straight to the next section. The moment the photograph is taken, you take off the helmet and you're in the pitch black, and you're in a research sort of base miles under the sea, 100 years in the future. And that's basically the rest of the game. Is like, why are you there? How did you end up there? You've got no. That wasn't like your line of work or anything. You just went in to have your brain scanned to help out some students, and the next thing you know, you're there. So basically, it's just it's really cool how it plays out. The kind of films and stuff that I like are very weird anyway, like David Lynch stuff and Darren Aronofsky, and kind of games I like are kind of sci-fi stuff like System Shock 2 and Fallout and stuff. So it didn't like completely blow my mind where the story went, but it was really cool. And since playing it, one of the reviews I was reading said that you're going to want to speak about it with other people, and like since playing it, it's like I really need my next fix of that kind of thing. It was really cool, and like it brings up a lot of questions as well. One of the big themes of the game is like what makes a human. Like is your thought, like what makes you as a person? Is have you got a soul? Have you got like a like just say somebody could record your soul and put it onto a robot or something. Could you pull the plug on that robot? Like would that robot truly be alive if it could like think as you do and stuff? It was really cool. It's really really went in some cool directions. So yeah, I really enjoyed SOMA. I'd really recommend it. It's one of my favourite games now on the PC. I thought it was not necessarily as a game, even though the game was cool. I mean, I wrote a review on Steam and I said it reminded me in places of Stalker, just with the exploration and some of the big buildings and stuff, and some of the gantries you got to kind of like crawl over and stuff. It just had a really cool sense of like discovery. You just wanted to look at everything, and Half-Life as well, just where you just kind of just trying to get out this big complex, and it just seems to take forever, and every little ray of light or something, or every kind of like every time you're close to the exit, something else will happen, and you just kind of seemingly right back down to the bottom again. It's, a lot of that going on, and System Shock as well with the audio logs, and yeah, it's really cool though. So yeah, highly recommended.